Well, of course, this time of year, we've got lots of food that could be wasted. And to help us out with that, we don't want food waste. We have Brittany Stafford-Edwards with us. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you. And Karolina Brittany as well. You guys are with Foodsharing Ottawa.
Yes.
Okay. Which one of you would like to tell me what Foodsharing Ottawa is all about?
Basically, we're a volunteer-based organization. We've been up and running for about 2 years this January. So our main focus is reducing food waste, like locally, definitely, and then trying to get a word out globally. So just, trying to combat that, and just with some information that we have today about holiday meal prep, and then just going forward from there.
Okay. Karolina, how much food is wasted? Quite a bit, right?
Yeah, approximately it's 47%.
Yikes.
Yeah, I like to say more like 50% because it gives a good visual, like you're throwing half of your fridge out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And that's pretty extreme. We shouldn't have that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And over the holidays, I would say it definitely tends to run higher, for sure.
Wow. Okay, so what food exactly are we talking about when you talk about food that's being thrown out? I know it sounds maybe self-explanatory.
A lot of it, I would say, would be produce, things like
sure.
that. They tend to get a little bit mushy, a little bit sad looking, and people are like, okay, let's just toss it out. They don't really have time or energy to think about what other things they could use with their leftovers. So whenever we have leftovers, we just don't really want to think about it. So we have things on our website that can help combat that with like leftover recipe generators. So
That's interesting. So how does that work?
So we have where you have the 3 top leftover items from any holiday meal you're having, and it gives you some neat ideas about like, okay, I have turkey, I have potatoes, and I have bread. So you enter those things in, and it comes up with maybe hash for your brunch the next day.
Oh, wow.
Or
Who hash?
Maybe,
You know what
right? Or things like I have cranberries, and I have bread, and I have some kind of like baked goods, so you can turn it into like a new kind of dessert.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Yeah, so it gives you more of an idea about reducing it that way, making it into something else.
You don't really have to look through all the cookbooks. It takes the stress out of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Karolina, how else do you guys do what you do? So you go into stores and you help stores? Because there must be so much waste going on there.
So right now we're trying to partner up with local stores, and there's always more people who want to partner up with us on the receiving end, but we're still working on building those relationships with local grocers and smaller businesses.
Okay.
For example, Kardish reached out to us.
Oh, good.
So that's like amazing.
Because you're getting
on
the
their
name
part.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's a way of them evolving their practices as well. So that was really good.
So
on
what
them.
do they have to gain then, other than obviously, knowing that they're doing good and saving food? If they were to reach out to you, how does it help their business?
Well, I would say it helps like with like I would say like, gosh, how do you put it? Like more of like a moral local obligation, so you're helping your community directly.
Which is good.
So you're keeping things out of the landfills and you're filling bellies. So that's what we like to do. We like to share it, don't toss it. So that's something that we have also on our Facebook page is a group. I would say it's about 1,200 or so members right now that have joined. So they have an opportunity whenever we do collect a large amount of donations from Kardish. We have just recently partnered with Cobb's Bakery, and we also have Urban Spice as another business that we partner with. So when you have an abundance of donations, we're able to share it within the group.
Yeah.
And then if they have an abundance of stuff they're sick of looking at, I don't have any use for this can of beans, so they're able to post that in the group, and people are able to come to their location mutually agreed upon and take that off their hands.
You have something to say, I think.
Yeah, it's also taking the load off, like in terms of how much you would pay for your garbage bin, because the more you keep out of the bins, the cheaper it'll be for you, and like you're doing the environment a favor, because businesses aren't really recycling, or composting, so that kind of just takes away all that stress from them, and we come in and we can sort it, we can just leave it aside, and we just do our thing.
But you do donate food to good
Absolutely,
causes,
yeah.
obviously.
We donate right now to St. Joseph's Supper,
Yes.
Hijinks, and different other organizations as well.
We just dropped off a large donation of bread from Cobb's Bakery. I think there was probably about 50 bags or so of bread. That was awesome that we were able to give to the mission. It was just really great to be able to do that, and then, make sure that it's going to be getting the proper use.
And an interesting fact about Cobb's Bakery, they're just opening up, but
Yes.
they reached out to us before they even opened, which is so amazing to know that there's businesses out there with that mindset.
They wanted to start on the right foot?
Yeah, so it's
Can you tell us
fantastic.
about the basket that's in front
Oh
of you
yeah,
as well?
so we have something that we're planning in the future, more than likely in the new year, a canning workshop. So we're going to be doing that. So all of these items that are in the basket are items that we've rescued from Urban Spice, saving out of the dumpsters, and we've turned it in. I've made it myself into preserves. So we have marmalade and we have some spiced pears. So all of these items would have been thrown into the garbage. And then you just take a little bit of time and effort, and there's pickles and my great grandma's tomato chili recipe.
Oh, cute.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty tasty. It's well sought after the holidays. So
Yeah.
that's something that we're looking to do in the new year. Make it accessible to people who might not understand how easy and simple it is to can items. You know, and then just kind of having that locally within the neighborhood, and then going from there, and with the abundance of stuff that might be a little bit weird to look at, you turn it into really awesome canned goods.
Okay, we have about a minute left. What are your thoughts on expiration dates?
I think they're made up completely.
Yeah.
Sniff test.
Yeah.
The sniff test?
Yeah.
That's what you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I would say like expiration dates, best before dates, or use by dates, they're not properly regulated. So there's no real way to go ahead and say, well, one's better than the other. So, you know, you look at a tub of yogurt and you're like, oh gosh, that expired 2 days ago. Definitely sniff test.
Sniff test and just using like
Yeah.
common sense.
Common
you know,
sense.
try
Yeah.
it. If it doesn't taste good,
Most
then
dried.
compost it and recycle. So,
Yeah.
I absolutely love what you guys are doing. You're always looking for volunteers, and for more
Yes.
information, foodsharingottawa.com. That's the
Yep,
place to go to.
absolutely.
Thank you for saving the food.
Well,
Thank you
we
for
try.
having us.
We appreciate your time here, and happy holidays as
You
well.
too. Thank you.
Coming up next on Daytime right here on Rogers TV, Brew Donkey Tours. We'll find out more about that next right here on Rogers.